What's good, day traders? Hope you're having a good day today. Today we're going to be looking at time frame bias and understanding each time frame and their trends. The reason why we're talking about this today is because most of us, and especially me when I trade, I need to know my bias on a higher time frame because that's what's going to help me make my setup a higher probability setup. Now, when I trade, and I know most of you go through this as well, whenever you place a trade, have you ever had a trade where you enter and price just goes straight to your stop loss and you realize that you actually were incorrect with the bias? The reason for this is because you had the wrong trend bias. Okay. So, what I did through the 5 years of trading, I had to understand that in order for me to place a trade, either a buy or a sell, I need to know at least one or two time frame biases and they have to correlate with each other. Okay, I know this sounds like foreign language to you guys, but by the end of this video, I'm going to make sure I explain to you exactly how to identify the time frame biases and also how to put it into a confluence, okay, and how to set yourself up for a nice, lovely trade. Okay, now there's only three time frames that I like to look at when it comes to trend biases. Anything smaller than this, we are going to be either scalping or it's not going to be as powerful. Okay, the higher the time frame, the more powerful it is. Okay, so what I like to do is there's three time frames. You've got the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hours. And I like to just have it hovering on my screen so I can actually see the bias as a whole and I can see exactly what's going on within the markets. So for example, I want to know what is the trend going on the weekly. Okay, so the weekly, right? And I'm just going to have a look here. The weekly, let's get the path tool. What we can see is, if I just scale in, we can actually see that if we start this trend, we've got high, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, and then price kind of broke this low, and now we're coming down to creating a lower low. Okay, so potentially we could see price coming back to this area for a retest, potentially. Okay, or price could respect this low, these lows, and continue to go to the upside. Okay, but in reality, what we're looking for is if price is going on an uptrend, right? We want to see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? That's what we want to see. But as soon as we see price create a lower low, we are changing our trend bias. Okay, so on the weekly, you probably think, okay, we are on an uptrend, but no, we're not. The reason why we're not on an uptrend because this low right here has been swept. This low has not been respected, and therefore this trend has been cancelled, and we're potentially creating a new, possibly a new lower high, and then continuing on to the downside. Okay, so because of that, okay, we would say that the weekly is currently, okay, because you want the most current, is bearish. Okay, boom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to scale in. Okay, we're going to scale in. I'm going to go to the daily. Okay, now daily, again, we can see that we created lows, highs, a higher low, higher high, and then we broke these lows, and we're currently just creating new lows, right? We're currently creating new lows in the market. Okay, we could kind of count this as a new higher, lower high, but I would like to see more significant move to the downside to call this a new high low. So, for example, if price decides to continue to go down, then that will be the new higher low. Okay, so the reason why we say that this is a break of trend, and again the daily will now be bearish, is because if we put a support or an area at our support line, you can clearly see it's become a resistance line. Okay, it's a resistance zone. Okay, so that's basically very, very simple. It's basically when price has gone up, okay, price has broke, retested this area, price has retested this area. What happens next is price continues the new trend and continues to go down, creating this new trend. Okay, and that's what's happening right now as we speak. Okay, so again, on the daily, our bias will be bearish. Why? Because support has turned into resistance. Okay. Whereas in this one, resistance has turned into support. We can actually clearly see, right? Resistance has turned into support. Support has turned into resistance. And this is actually one of our key areas. And how really, really good actually, because if I just get a horizontal line, you can actually see it's at around psychological level at 1.30. Can you guys see that? So now we're building a narrative. Okay, so the daily, right, we have is bearish. And while we're doing this, what I like to do, guys, is I also like to just create some daily areas of interests, right? So for example, the highs. So for example, this is obviously clearly a nice high. So if price decides to come back up, we know that it's going to come back to this high. Okay, we have a high here, which obviously price tried to, right? Price tried to respect this by pushing up on this level, but then we crashed, right? So this was a resistance turning into support, but then clearly just went down, okay? But it's not that, this is not as strong, okay? So now that we know that we're bearish on these two time frames, just before we go into the 4 hours, I just want to see, okay, what's the next low? So the next low is this hit right here. And if you guys are confused on finding new lows, do this. Low, high, low, high, low, high. Clearly, we created a low here, or a low, high. We kind of have like a low, high here as well. Obviously creating, so which one's the next one? Is this area right here, okay? This area right here, it could be the next area of interest. So what we will do, again, draw a zone at this level. Boom, okay? And then we need to see, is this level respected? Well, yes, indeed, it is, okay? And actually, we could possibly even see, okay, let's go further back. Yes, it's very much respected, okay? Now what we can do is we can go on to the 4 hours and really see in detail what the market's been doing, okay? So the market, obviously we had this downtrend, so we got boom, lows, lower high, low, lower high, low, lower high, low, lower high, low, lower high, and it just keeps going. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. Now we had this counter trend, sorry, where it goes high. Then we kind of have this retracement kind of area, boom, to this moving average, and then boom, created a new low, low, and then a lower high, low, lower high, and obviously possibly even going to break this area, okay? So on this bias, again, we're going to say that this is bearish. Now, we're actually very fortunate that all the time frames match, right? So all the time frames match within this, okay? So what does that mean to us? That means to us that we have definitely got to look for sells, okay? So if you're looking for buys in this and you see that the weekly's bearish, the daily's bearish, and the 4 hours bearish, if you're looking for buys in this area or where price is at the moment, you're going to realize that you're going to get stopped out very, very fast, okay? You're going to get stopped out because your time frame bias is what holds a lot of weight, okay? And what you can do now is you can actually see, okay, cool, let's create an area at this low, okay? And you can see that price is obviously respecting at the moment. But what we can do is we can build a narrative. Okay, cool. Our target's down here. Let's really scale out and actually see what's a really good target. Okay, so a really good target zone would be, yes, it would be here. But I would definitely wait then for price to break, retest, and come down to there. Okay, so potentially we could go for a sell here. Stop loss above, obviously, whatever market structure, we would possibly just put, let's say, for now, these highs here, because that's the current high, and obviously take profit here. Now, I know this looks horrible. It's a 1-to-1, 1.5, okay? But we can now actually use market structure to advantage. So, for example, we can actually use this market structure rather than this market structure, because we actually have a key level, which is so first we have 1.27, okay, which is this area, okay? So let me just move this 1.27. This is a round psychological level. Okay. So this could be a target right here, even though, yes, this is support, or we have another, which is down here, 265. Okay. Right here. So we actually have two. I would possibly just go for this is take profit 1 and this is take profit 2. Okay. Now it's giving us a nice 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Okay. I like to go for more of like 1 to 2.5. So what I would do is I would definitely wait for market structure to create, right? Once price is broken from here, we have nice market structure. When it comes up here, we can have a really nice stop loss if we have good rejection. Okay. Before now, we would have to keep it above these highs. Okay. And the reason why we're super, super strong when it comes to the market structure is because, or knowing that it's going to be a selling point, right? Is because, why? Because our weekly, daily, and 4 hour is bearish. Okay. Now, the reason why I like to look at these time frames and not anything lower is because if you have a look at the 1 hour time frame, you'll actually see that we had a lot of counter trends going on, right? Like for example here, we had this counter trend going on. Then price broke from this counter trend line, right? This counter trend, sorry. Then what happened? Price created highs, lows, highs, right? But in this counter, you would think, oh, double bottom, we're going up, right? And then you would obviously go for that high, right? But what happens? Price obviously does not get to that point and goes right to your entry point, right? So that's why it's very important to understand your biases, because if you don't understand your biases, what's going to happen is you're going to go for buys when in reality, we're looking for sells. So when we're looking for sales now, why am I so sure this is a good entry? Again, I'm going to repeat again, because the way we look for entries is we look for break, retest. Okay, we look for our candlestick formations, we look for our confluences, but one of the major confluences are these right here. So we can actually put in our trading journal, okay, the reason why I'm going for a sell is because the weekly's bearish, the daily's bearish, the 4 hours bearish, and also because scaling into the 1 hour, we had a break of structure, retest of the break of structure, and then I've entered on the retest of the break structure, and we're following on the trend. And we can actually not even have a set take profit. We can actually just hold this trade until market structure is broken. Okay, as simple as that. So that's why, guys, understanding time frames is very, very important. I know we've gone through time frames already, but adding this confluence makes things so much easier for you because now you understand the bias. Okay. And just before we go, I want to show you a trade that I am in at the moment. And I want to show you kind of roughly again the same bias that I had, right? But this time we had a weekly bearish, daily bearish, and the 4 hour was bullish. Okay. And the reason of entering this trade, again, is very, very simple. The reason of entering this trade, now I like to enter on the 15 minutes. Okay. The reason of entry of this trade is because price broke, price retested, and I just entered at the continuation of this candlestick. Okay. So we had a break, retest, and now we're continuing to the downside. But why am I so sure that price is going down? Is because if you have a look, guys, overall on the 15 minutes or even the 1 hour, overall you can see we have this head and shoulder pattern going on. So we've got left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then obviously the head and shoulder pattern. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing right here. Okay, and obviously we keep our stop loss above the right shoulder, and we're expecting price to come to these lows. This is giving me a nice 1 to 2.3 risk reward ratio. Okay, guys. So the reason why it's so important is because I've seen my head and shoulder pattern. I've seen my entry protocol, the break and retest. Okay. And I now have my time frame biases set in place. Okay. Now I'm 100% confident that price will go to my target. Now, what if price doesn't go to my target? Okay, what if price just goes complete? Because trading is not that easy. Trading is not that simple where you can just enter the market with full on confidence, right? So if price goes to your stop loss, it's not your fault. And this is what the art of the market is. You cannot blame yourself unless you didn't follow your rules. If you followed your rules, you cannot blame yourself for the trade. Simply, the market has decided to go in a different direction. It's as simple as that. Okay. So if the market decides, for example, in this trade, if the market decides to go up, okay, what happens? Okay, no worries. We then have another setup, which is price, and I'll just scale in. Price has broken this level. Well, no worries, because we'll just wait for the break and retest and continue to the upside. It's as simple as that, guys. So not only am I ready for the latter move, I'm confident that even if price goes the other way, I already know how to react. I already know what to do. Okay? And that's what's important. What's not important is you placing a trade, you get hit by stop loss, and you don't know where the market's going, and then you're forcing trades. That's not good. Okay? Secondly, when price goes the wrong way in the wrong direction and you didn't follow your rules, you have full accountability and you take the L on the chin and you follow your rules on the next setup. If you don't follow your rules on the next setup, what's going to happen is you're going to lose in the market. Okay, you have set rules. And funny enough, guys, tomorrow we're going to talk about setting rules and following a strategy. Okay, setting rules is very, very important. Okay, so I need you guys to make sure that you're ready for tomorrow's lesson. Today was more about biases and understanding biases, but tomorrow is going to be straight up me talking to you about your creating a strategy, and not only that, it's following your rules and making sure you're disciplined. Okay. Now, guys, just before I end the boot camp for today, guys, please, please, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with every trader that you know and help the community out. The more traders that see this, the better it is for me, because then I can help you guys. But not only that, I want you guys to comment down below if you do not understand anything. The reason for this bootcamp is, yes, I understand that I'm in front of the camera and I'm not actually with you, but I want to make sure that you feel like I am with you. So if that means you bombard me with 20 questions because you didn't understand today's topic or you didn't understand anything, that is cool. Please, please, please make sure that you follow and comment down below. Because if you don't comment down below, I will not know that you're struggling, and then you're going to be not succeeding in trading, and then you're going to feel like trading is not for you when it is for you because you just didn't ask. So please make sure you comment. And also, if you have any questions on, for example, this move that I've just done, or if you want me to break down this trade, hopefully by the end of this week, this trade will be cleared and it'll hit take profit, and then I can show you exactly how the trade went out. Or if it hits stop loss, I'll show you exactly how this trade went out as well. But now that we're going more deep into the bootcamp, you're going to start seeing more of my trades. Last week, I didn't want to show you my trades as much. The Discord has seen my trades, but I don't want to show you guys the trades because I don't want to confuse you. But now that we're understanding the markets, I want to definitely look at more trades. I want to definitely look at the market more in depth with you guys. And that's why I'm slowly breaking down my strategy. And then by the end of this bootcamp, you're going to just have a list full of things, full of information based on my strategy. But other than that, you can see clearly that price is in my profit zone, so I'm pretty good for today. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a good week. It's a Monday. I don't know if you guys are watching this on a Monday, but it doesn't matter. It's a Monday for me, and hope you have a good week. And guys, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's bootcamp.